Al-Haddad rahimahullah, in his book of assistance, when he gets to the chapter on reflection, he first tells the reader in that chapter to reflect upon Allah and Allah's names. And then he says you reflect upon the favors that your God has bestowed upon you. And then he talks about things like haya and taqwa and being conscious of God's eyes being upon you. And in a dars that I was giving on that chapter, I asked people to sit and think about the connections across all of the different recommended reflections that Imam Al-Haddad was given. And I wrote it on a board, and the first group that spoke, they said that what we see is that Allah is always watching us and that we should never do things that He doesn't want us to. But in the frame of a God that is not watching over you, but is simply watching you, essentially fear, and you're walking on eggshells. And it said Imam Al-Haddad doesn't start with that reflection. He says first think about what does it mean that God is Rahman, God is Latif, God is Wadud, God is Rahim. And then before he tells you to think about what it is that you should be doing when you realize Allah sees you although you cannot see Him, he doesn't start with the fact that God watches over you, but he starts with the fact that you should think about first what Allah's favors are upon you. That the basis has to be a frame of positivity, not negativity. And if the only way that you conceptualize your God to be is an angry old man in the sky looking for a reason to punish you, then that's the God that you are worshiping. But if you sit and you first start with thinking about everything that I've been given that renders for me courage and audacity because I know that what I don't have was not meant for me and there's something much bigger that I want anyway. And then I keep moving and I keep going and I allow for my heart to be transformed.